Pad Thai feels old, and it looks like something that has always existed. But it hasn't been around that long. It's not even 100 years old, younger than frozen food, younger than television. And it didn't grow slowly over centuries in family kitchens. It was introduced deliberately, at a specific moment, for a specific reason. So wait, why would a country invent a dish? In the 1930s, Thailand was redefining itself. Modern borders were new, less than a decade old, and the shared national identity was still fragile. The country was under pressure to appear unified, modern, and independent. Language mattered, clothing mattered, and food mattered too. Rice noodles were already common, tamarind was already used. But these things weren't yet a symbol. So the government encouraged a dish that could be cooked anywhere, with familiar ingredients and shared by everyone. Pad Thai wasn't just food, it was instruction. But how do you teach a nation what it is? Through a single plate. Pad Thai works because it was never meant to be pure. It took shape under pressure, during shortages, and among people who had to adjust quickly. This dish wasn't created to impress anyone. It was meant to fit into everyday life, again and again. Rice noodles cooked fast and softened just as quickly. They used less grain than rice, which meant one small harvest could feed thousands of people when supplies were tight. They soaked up flavor easily and didn't demand precision. That mattered. Palm sugar melted quickly and softened sharp flavors right away. Sweetness wasn't added for pleasure. It made the dish forgiving, hard to ruin, easy to cook again. Tamarind solved another problem. It brought acidity, without refrigeration, without spoilage, and without imported fruit. It kept for months, sometimes more than a year. Fish sauce replaced several steps at once. It added salt, depth, and fermentation in a single pour. It came from preservation, not refinement. Fish was dried because it had to be. Fermentation happened because time and heat made it possible. Eggs filled the gaps when fresh meat wasn't available. They cooked in seconds and pulled everything together. Nothing in this dish asked you to slow down. Nothing required long waiting. It worked best when you moved quickly, used high heat, and cooked the same way every day. There was never one correct version, only versions that worked often enough to feel familiar. So there is no original recipe? As Pad Thai traveled, it kept changing. Sweeter, thicker, softer. Not because anyone misunderstood it, but because the conditions around it changed. Sugar became cheaper, proteins easier to find, time harder to spare. What many recognize today isn't tradition carefully preserved, but adjustment repeated. In Thailand, this was never controversial. Change was expected. Over time, the policy disappeared and habit took its place. Pad Thai stopped being instruction and became identity. Food is rarely neutral. It teaches people how to live. Pad Thai is not folklore, it is functional cooking. From now on, follow the story, not just the recipe. More dishes are waiting.